Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode on the Afterlife server. I'm down here in my trading hall getting some XP, and I didn't actually show you in the last episode what we did. Open up our shop and selling Tridents now over in the shopping district. Well, that was very close, I apologise. But I did mention that I put mending and unbreaking on the Tridents, and I actually have two little extra villagers I squeezed in the trading hall here. And as you might have guessed, one is selling mending for a book or an emerald and a book, and one is selling unbreaking. So there we go, that's how I'm getting those. So let me chuck this in and we will go and see what the plans are for today. And well, the plans for today are pretty simple. We have a little board here of a checklist for today's episode. We're going to have to check some sales as it's been some more time since the last time we checked. Marketing, as I believe people need to know about these Trident sales and we need to encourage them to go to the shop and buy some. So we need to show them how cool they can be. We need to equip ourselves with the Trident, maybe put Riptide on it and fly around and hopefully sell some Tridents on the go. And then finally, build. Of course, we are going to keep on building up the village, and talking of which, I have made some changes. So flying in here, you'll see all of the wool is now missing from all the perimeters of the area as I've removed it. Don't really need it anymore. We can see clearly where everything is based on the paths. But you will notice this red and green craziness going on here. Taking a little bit of a better vantage point up on top of our tree here, and this is going to be the start of our town and village. Now, not every build in this town is going to be fantasy themed, such as the genie's lamp there, or the dragon bridge, or the floating island. We're actually going to have just some regular buildings, more medieval, rustic style and things like that, matching a little bit with our windmill over there. So we're going to go for a little bit of a crowded look. We're going to squeeze in as many buildings and things as possible. Then we're going to sell this fantasy theme using things like crystals, maybe even a dragon or two, fantasy trees everywhere, and make it look magical that way. So as we can see here, we've got a layout. We're going to have a lot of diagonal buildings just to give that variation, and lots of little pathways running in through the buildings that you can walk through and get to different areas such as this. But this is a lot of work to design up all of these buildings and things to match with each other, and this is only this area. We do have a massive area there across that side of the path, and of course this massive area, not to mention all along the coastway. And then finally, we do obviously have to start working at some point on the main castle that we're going to put over in the mountains over there. But I think the first thing, as we said on our little bulletin board to do, is we need to go and check our sales in our new shop. Alright, so what are we thinking? Are we confident that we're going to make some sales? I'm not so sure myself, but let's see. Yes, that's really not a single one. I really have to go and work on this marketing strategy. And let me see, any more sales here? Nope, no more sales of Nautilus shells. Is Tink sold any of these? No. Good. I think we need to do something about this as well. But we do need to think a way to market our Tridents, as clearly the shop isn't enough. So we're going to have to force these members here on Afterlife to get over here, buy themselves a Trident. So to do that, we're going to need to show them how cool a Trident really is. Well, I've just actually noticed something, and I think the first rule of this marketing ploy we have is to know our customers. So I came to this shop here to buy some of the Riptide books and things to put on the Tridents. And going through this store, it sells pretty much all of the books for tools and armour, but I don't think there is any of the books that we need for Tridents. There's no Riptide, Channeling, Impaling, or the other one. I forget, and I don't think there's any of the crossbow ones either. So I think with that in mind, knowing our customers are going to want to use all of the special abilities of the Trident, like Riptide, like Channeling, I think we need to set up some villagers and we need to sell those books over at our shop. I think then if they know they can get all those things on their Trident, then they are more likely to buy one. So I think heading back to the base and setting all of that infrastructure up is where we should start. And that start has been achieved. As you see, I've created another little room here, got ourselves some more librarian villagers, and there we go. We have loyalty, we have impaling. It's actually, I got impaling 3, then impaling 5, which was a pretty lucky trade right there. And then we have channeling, and finally we have our Riptide, all for 1 emerald and a book. So I've traded up a bunch. I've got a bunch of channeling books, Riptide, everything that we need, so we can take these over to the shop, set them up to sell. And that way, I think we'll charge 1 diamond per book, just matching the bookstore. That way people will be enticed to buy whatever they want for their Trident. So let's go set that up just now. And then we can go on to stage 2. So there we go, we just added to the barrels over there, all the books that we're now selling. I moved the Nautilus shells over a little bit so they're still here. And then we have Riptide, and this one we have Loyalty, we have Channeling, and then we have Impaling. The drowned heads have moved to the back. And that makes a completed shop, hopefully driving in more customers as they can now update their tridents with all of the fancy enchants, and they can do things like this. Woohoo! So it's time now to go and visit some people's bases and let them know how much they also need a trident, even if they don't want one. But it's time to deploy Operation Trident. The first place we are visiting is Ash's place. I know that he has shown some interest in getting a trident, so I'm going to leave it up on top of this mountain here. His portal is directly underneath. And what we're going to do is we're going to dig away. Let's use a shovel for this, I think maybe better. I'm sorry if you like those roses, Ash, but you will like this better. So we're going to do something like this. We're going to create like a little pond area with the end stone just to make it look like our shop, and it's going to signify that if you did have a trident with the Riptide enchant, that you would be able to use this right here. So we're going to just do something like this. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to turn out at the very end, but then what we want to do is create a thing that looks like a trident, maybe like probably on this block here, I would think. So we're going to do this 3 high, like so. Let's do 1 on either side, not there, there. And then we want 1 on top, like that. Then we can get a trapdoor, a couple of end rods, and then we have a trident or something. It looks similar like a trident, kind of. We're going to fill this all with water. We mixed in some tuff and a little bit of glow lichen here and there, just to make it match with the shop that we've got over in the shopping area. So now we need to add in a couple of signs just to explain what this is and advertise our shop. This isn't a real trident. Real tridents are cool. Don't you want to be cool too? Then head on over to the Atlantis ruins and grab a sweet new trident. Be cool. You deserve it. So there we go, a nice piece of aggressive advertising here at Ash's base. Hopefully he will see that over if he's at his base. His storage area is just there, and he should see that off in the distance and check that out. And then we might actually get a sale from him, or he might resent our shop for building this up in his area, but he is free of course to tear that down if he wants to. While I'm in this area, I'm going to head down the coast as Tinkbro lives down in this area, so he should be coming into view now. I believe his base is somewhere down here. I've not actually been to it, I don't think. I think that's puffing fish though. I could be wrong, I don't know what any of this is. Potentially spoilers. So yes, I believe this is Puff's base, so I'm just going to leave another one right here. And just like that, we have another one. So I'm going to do this on multiple people's bases around the server. I think about 7 in total I have enough resources for here, and I have some more in this chest right here. So I'm going to place them around, and that's going to be our advertisements to get people to the shop. Hopefully they see this and think, oh, Trident, that looks cool. I could stand in here, I could use my Riptide Trident, and I could go and fly. So I managed to get to around 7 people's bases to put up our little advertisement there. I couldn't do everyone's base as it would have taken me all day if there's around 20 members on the server. So hopefully it will increase our sales. I think there's one last thing that we can do here to improve sales going forward. And it might be a little bit like this, something, you know, like this. Just a little bush that's growing, nothing to see, nothing to worry about. If you don't trim your hedges, they grow out of control. With that all taken care of, we can mark off checking sales, we can mark off marketing, and it's time now to start some building. must say, with these few buildings in place, I'm really getting that sense of atmosphere that's going to be in this village. As we come up, we're going to have buildings on this side of the street and this side, making it all closed in and claustrophobic, but we're going to have little alleyways running up and down these streets as well. I love how these turned out, this one here matching the colours that we used in the windmill over there. And then this, I love this little bridge. It's at an angle here and just goes over the top of this road leading down into what will be the dock area and fishing area. But as we make our way around here, there is no interior as of yet. In fact, I didn't light this up, so it could be dangerous. Rather than have them all decorated in the interior, a lot of these buildings will be used for different kinds of farms. So we'll have sugarcane farms, bamboo farms, cactus farm, a moss farm, cobblestone generator. All these kinds of things will be in these buildings and the ones that will be over here as well. That way they all have a purpose, or most of them have a purpose, as we do have an entrance here as well, which will be a building leading down to the zombie spawner that we don't really use, but well, good to have anyway. And back there will be our main entrance as well. So you can let me know what you think of these buildings and how you think this town or village is going to turn out in the end. I'm going to get to work right away building up the rest. I have designs and plans in mind for the rest of them, but do not have the resources at the moment as these boxes are looking a little bit sparse. But guys, unfortunately that does mean we have to end the episode off here. I have run out of time and I do have a lot of resource gathering and building left to do. So with that, I hope that you enjoyed the episode. I'm going to leave you off with one more spin of our trident here. There we go. And hopefully in the next episode we can check if we have made some diamonds. But thanks again for watching, and until the next one, bye bye.